All right, so people were saying that my last video where I ranted for 50 minutes about a Dean debate with some other progressive against two MAGAs was a terrible video and that I'm misinformed, without giving me really any substance other than, oh, you're coughing and clearing your throat and da-da-da and this and that, and it just makes it hard to get through the video, and you didn't have any script, and yada, yada, yada. And so here I am trying to pull up the specific clip of what I was watching so that everybody knows what I was watching, and why I'm reacting the way I am, and why I claimed that I don't think progressive debaters are helping. I think that they are ceding ground to the enemy. So I'll show you now what I'm talking about here. It was a 2v2. Gosh, I'm not finding it very easily. Here we go. It's called Trump's Most Unhinged Week Yet Round Table.
About the age of verification is it means that every single
by Jubilee. Now, I don't think that any progressive debater should go on the Jubilee platform because I believe them to be dishonest in their editing, and I believe them to be dishonest in their presentation style. I don't think that they are 100% non-biased. I think they're actually more right-leaning, and during some of the talk people broadcasts that I've watched, like Luke Beasley, Vosh, Destiny, people like that, have stated openly that Jubilee is not a friendly platform or unbiased platform to go on, and that they are more right-leaning partisan. So I'm willing to throw my lot into thinking that's an accurate assessment. And the reason why I think it's an accurate assessment is because the people they have on to debate are not good faith debaters. They literally default to interrupting their opponent, using logical fallacies, moving the goalposts, and generally being ineffective debaters. And oftentimes, more than not, are openly anti everything that you would want a society to be built off of. They're obviously racist. I mean, the most recent video I watched last night, right, from this guy, he said 30%-ish of the party is openly racist. So let me go find that video so that I can give it as a source. Went on a bit of a Schmo-Yoho binge last night. But before that, let me see here. Simple. Aha, here we go.
36% of Republicans believe the moon landing was fake. 37% believe the Holocaust was exaggerated. And 51% believe the 2020 election was rigged. And this is the internal data from the conservative Manhattan Institute.
Woodford Stephen, all right? His video is titled, "The Republican Party Just Released Its Own Autopsy." I have watched numerous videos from Kyle Kalinske talking about the Palantir, the guy next to the CEO, not the CEO, the co-guy, who openly claimed that his platform was being used to kill communists. And you've heard Trump referring to the left as communists, so you know who they're talking about. They're talking about anybody who's progressive, anybody who's left-leaning. They want to kill you. They are all about killing you. And so what I was saying in my 50-minute rant is that I think that Trump being in charge of the military allows him access to the latest military tech, the latest and the best and brightest in terms of snipers. I think it could be a very easy thing to pick a plant, find somebody who's a radical, who comes from a background that they can coerce into doing something. They plant them at these public events, and then the first time they planted, this Thomas Crooks guy, he's the plant. So he's going to sit there and look like the shooter, right? And then the actual shooter is going to be a professional sniper who takes a pot shot at Trump, or maybe they give him a squib, whatever it is. And then they make it look like a shooting, and then boom, they won the election against Kamala off of that one event alone. And then with Charlie, they used a drone. I mean, there's clips on YouTube of them using a similar drone. I'll show you the source for that. Give me 1 second. All right, Silver Fox channel posted killer drones with AI. You're gonna want to watch that. And so there's also footage of the supposed drone. By TFU and 2 more. Was he assassinated by a drone? Charlie Kirk, was he assassinated by a drone? Look that up. There were pieces of footage from the Truth Desk, military drone seen before and after Charlie Kirk was shot. Boom. So there's footage of that being the case. And so what I think happened is they had another plant who they have, Tyler. They have completely befuddlingly stupid FBI at the time with Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. They're both idiots. And so their FBI is garbage and inside. So what I'm saying here is I think that it was an orchestrated thing by people who are way smarter and more intelligent, and that Trump's just an idiot puppet. That he didn't have anything directly to do with it because he's too stupid. Like, if you listen to him on a daily basis, he doesn't even know where he is half the time. But the people around him that are more powerful, way more intelligent, way more cunning, and way more cautious, and the people like who, he has people like Gus Fring from Breaking Bad around him. He has people who are more conniving and know more and can do more damage and are way more diabolically evil than he is around him as his peers, because he's a douchebag and he's a piece of shit and all that. So what I'm saying is, it goes all the way to the top. It's corrupt in such a way that you could easily have somebody do something like that, where they orchestrated these perfect assassinations. One was an attempt to make him look good. The other was successful because they wanted him dead, so that they could then spin it on every news media platform and use propaganda to lie to their base and say, hey, look, the left is killing us. And then they have this story going on about how he was like in a relationship with a trans person, and so that's all it takes, and now that guy's a crazy liberal, and so we can mobilize our base by saying, hey, a crazy liberal killed this guy, when in reality it was them orchestrating the whole thing and using a plant. And I think that's true, even though I have no evidence for it, and so that makes me hypocritical and in general not somebody who would fall in line with the normal progressive crowd because they only care about the facts. In terms of Dean's debate style and Adam Mockler's debate style and Vosh, and all of them are going off of data that's articulable and you can find. Packman would probably throw this claim right out the window and say, I don't see enough evidence off of what I just presented to accept that claim, and that's okay. You can think that. But what I think is, I think that there's definitely some powerful people that are in tune with the idea of getting rid of the progressives. I think that that's what they want to do. I think that's where they're headed. I think that's what ICE is all about, really. They're not just about deporting people who have overstayed their welcome or their visas expired or, this, that, or the other thing. No, I think that they're secretly being used as armed thugs, clowns, and that their main purpose is to eradicate the left, however possible. And the fact that they're taking your data, they know all of your data, all your personal information got leaked because they raided the internal data that the government has on its citizens. Elon raided all of that. So they have everything they need to know exactly what you do, what you Google, what your algorithm says about you. They have all that data, and so they can use that to pick and choose, members of the population that are doing wrongthink. Any type of wrongthink. If you're against Trump, you're wrongthink. If you're pro-progressive, you're wrongthink. If you're gay, you're wrongthink. If you're not white and not a Christian nationalist, you're wrongthink. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to get rid of us. They're trying to kill us. And they use Charlie as the catalyst. Because if somebody on their side dies, then they finally have everything they need to say, look, it's the left that's violent, it's not the right. Even though all the data says that it's the right that's violent and not the left. And so people came into my comments section and told me how misinformed I am when I listen to them on a daily basis, and I know what they said. I've memorized it. I don't have all of these statistics and facts like Dean does. Dean is much more well-informed than I am, and I give him credit for that. But the thing I was trying to say in my last video that apparently got shit on to all high hell by either MAGAs or people who are just clowns, and didn't get through the whole thing for whatever reason, because I wasn't clear enough, or because my tone was, I can't get through it because you keep saying, well, guess what, bud? I don't do scripts. I just get on here and I rant, okay? So if you don't like that style of thing, Charlie does it all the time. He gets on video unedited and rants. I don't know why I am being picked on for doing the same style. You guys will let it slide with one creator because they're much bigger, but then won't let it slide when, a small channel like mine who has relatively no viewers whatsoever and suddenly gets 100 views because I'm posting about how I'm progressive and pissed off. Oh, that's suddenly unacceptable for me to do that. And I can't just stream a thought talk because it makes it impossible for you to get through the 50 fucking minutes. I mean, if you don't want to sit there and watch it, don't watch it. Don't go out of your way to leave a comment saying, oh, this is ineffective, oh, you're misinformed. I listen to these people on a regular basis. I listen to them every single day. I know what their talking points are. I know what they're saying. I'm just not capable of reciting the actual numerical figures that they're giving. But it makes sense to me that when Kyle Kalinske says that the Palantir guy is after us, and he posted publicly on Twitter that he's after us, that I'm starting to think it's definitely very clear that what they want to do is kill all the Democrats. That's what they want to do. They want to get rid of the progressives. And so what I was saying is, progressive debaters in general are more often in a recent panel that Adam did. His Jubilee video, Adam's Jubilee video. The first guy comes up, debates him, starts talking over him, starts interrupting, starts misinterpreting what he's saying, does his own thing, breaks decorum frequently, uses logical fallacies, moves the goalposts. He does the exact Charlie play-by-play of being an idiot. That's what he does. And guess what Adam does right after this debate is finished? He thanks him for his time, and he's like, yeah, it was really nice talking to you, and stuff like that. Absolutely ridiculous that you would do that to somebody who has thrown away all of their morals, has done irrevocable damage by their vote, and has caused what is happening right now. What has happened in this first year and this first month is so diabolical and so evil and so corrupt and so wrong and so against the law. The fact that you are even still giving these people a chance to speak, a platform, the ability to get any of their ideas out is emboldening their base and giving them all the ammunition they need to continue destroying, pillaging, vaulting, looting, everything. It only gives them more power when you say, oh, thanks for the productive conversation. It wasn't productive. It was a pile of shit. He doesn't care about you. He has no morals. He's not willing to play by the rules. He's a cheater. It's the same thing as if you were playing a game and you're going to auto-aim somebody, and then Adam comes along and he's like, no, I'm going to play the game fair. I'm going to try to beat this cheater. And then he loses. Well, you still lost to the cheater. It doesn't matter how much more skilled you were. It doesn't matter how every single one of your plays was flawless, you still lost. And that's what I'm telling you. When you go on these platforms and you have debates with these people, instead of focusing on your own media and focusing on your own base and making sure that your own people turn out to vote next time, you're not going to have a country anymore. Because what Trump and the regime are great at is mobilizing the people who don't vote ever to get off the couch and vote. So they are getting normal, stupid, single issue people that don't do the research to go out there and vote for them. So you're not reaching those people. You need to focus not on debating the MAGAs and showing how stupid they are and playing the attack campaign on them, because it's pointless. It just makes you look bad. They can edit you however they feel like and make you look bad. When Luke Beasley went on Tim Pool, he turned right around and said to his base that he won that thing, even though he clearly lost on the basis of facts and stuff like that. It doesn't matter because they can spin it. They can spin it any way they want. They don't play by the rules. They don't care. They have no values. They don't care about the facts that you presented. They don't care about how cordial you were. They don't care about how you followed the rules and their guy broke decorum. They don't do any self-vetting of their own party. These people are out for death and destruction, and they don't care about the rules. So when you sit there and try to follow the rules and present facts and statistics to them, it goes in one ear and out the other. It's pointless. So instead of having debates with MAGAs and trying to make them look like idiots like Polypolitics does, what you need to instead do is you need to talk to your own people and finger the pulse on why it is that we aren't turning out in the most important districts in the country. Why is it that... Now, I get you could counter argue this and say, oh, look, Mom Donnie won, and oh, look, we won in key districts. That's great. That's good news for us, and I appreciate that. But I don't think that it's a shoo-in. The midterms is a shoo-in. I think that they're saying, oh, yeah, we're going to lose the midterms, but in reality, that's not true. In reality, I think that they're going to win even still, because the majority of the people who turn out and vote for them are going to sweep the midterms. There's just no way. I don't see there being a case where the Dems are going to sweep the midterms. And the other thing is, you still have dinos in the party that are just sitting around and doing nothing with fingers up the bum. I know that they can't do anything without winning back the House and all of that, but the Senate and the Supreme Court are still stacked. So it doesn't matter what we do. It has to go all the way up to the top. We have to install enough that the Supreme Court can't just do whatever the fuck they please anymore, because they're corrupt and all of them were installed by Trump. Like, it has to go all the way up to the top. And so this isn't something that we're going to be able to dig ourselves out by the end of this year. This is a systemically terrible issue that's going to affect me and my generation for the next 10 to 15 years. And the other thing I was saying is you need to be focused on the presidency and winning that, and then winning the next presidency after that, and then being as aggressive and installing and redonkulous as he is. You need to fundamentally get rid of everything that was in Project 2025 and undo everything that he's done. You have to undo all of that to fix this. You have tremendous legislative work that you have to ram through and destroy that they've done this time around, because if you don't destroy every single piece of legislation, everything that they've done, reestablish NATO, get us back to where we were before all of this happened, if you cannot do that in 2 to 4 years, it's going to be a shit show forever, because people are going to see that you didn't really give them any substantive change at all. And when you got your seats back and when you got back in power, nothing really changed. It's still as bad as ever. People still can't own homes. People's wages are still redonkulously low. Right now, you have to make $66 an hour to kind of live anywhere, which is insane. Nobody pays that. So everybody's in debt. Everybody's struggling. Everybody's feeling like they could die any day now. People are dying, and you guys are just not getting it. You guys are thinking, oh, I can just show up on these debate platforms and that's going to get me voters. That's going to get me change. That's going to get me progression. No, it doesn't work like that. It never has worked like that. And that's what my episode of why the Democrats are on these debate platforms are not helping the cause. And the other problem is there's only like 3 progressive Democrats. Everyone else is a Schumer corporate centrist. And I know this because I listen to Emma Vigeland all the time. I know this because I listen to the Majority Report every day. And so because I'm seeing that it's a systemic level hopeless scenario where there's just no chance for us anytime in the next 10 years, even if you do win the midterms, even if you do win the presidency, it's not going to change any of the problems. And the reason why is because they aren't going to be able to do anything, because then the other side's just going to stonewall them the whole time, so they can't legislate anything. So unless you do the same thing that Trump did of going through the executive for everything and just making sweeping changes to eliminate everything they've done, if you don't do that, people are still going to be suffering. People are still going to be dying. And regardless of the recent vote of how they managed to pass the subsidies in the House, it doesn't matter. It's going to fail the Senate. And because of that, we're still not going to have the subsidies. So opening the government and caving to these people and falling in line and allowing these major media companies, the legacy media, to completely fall victim to the regime and making it so that they're going after us, they're going to start banging your door in. If you're voting wrong, they're going to bang your door in. They're going to use ICE and the DHS to bang your door in and shoot you in your own home and kill you. They don't want you alive. You're wrong think. If you're white but you're liberal, that's the same as being black, and they hate you for it. And the fact that you people don't see it and will still sit down and think you can have a cordial conversation with these people, that you can still have them in your life, and that you can still have a positive relationship with people on the other side of the aisle, ridiculous. And the fact that Jim Carrey is like, I can break bread with anybody, that's great for you, dog. I'm glad that you're so forgiving, but I can't. Morally, I'm fully separate from you people. This is war, and the fact that you don't see it yet when he's trying to raid Greenland and destroy NATO, the fact that you are just looking at that and say, I can still break bread with the MAGAs, no. You guys have lost any ability for us to be on the same side or to compromise or to come together. It's over now. The fact that you guys don't have the fight and aren't fighting viscerally like snakes and are just being passive progressives, that's what's going to cost you everything. That's going to cost you your life.